Gets up and just pays the bill. Did he leave after that? Did he come back?
We did not. I swear to God, he was gone. We walked outside. Jeff Hardy was nowhere to be gone, dude. He just like vanished in a puff of pain. Yeah, dude, just a whisper in the wind.
Just an enigma, man. I love it.
Yeah, dude. He's. You know how they say, like, don't meet your heroes; they'll disappoint. The Hardy Boys won't disappoint. They're awesome to meet in real life.
Man, that's.
Do you have any favorite matches you've been in? You could any matches you've been in.
Yeah, man.
Whether big stage, small stage.
Sure. I mean, hard to argue Final Battle last year when myself, Vinny, and Taven won the Ring of Honor six-man titles, or the inaugural champs in the Hammerstein Arena, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's tough to really argue that. I mean, the Hammerstein's such like a legendary place in the world of pro wrestling, like so much history in that building. And then here we are making our own history, putting our own stamp on the wrestling books. So that's kind of hard to argue that one. And other than that, I mean, recently myself and Vinny Marcellia were in a tag team triple threat match against the Young Bucks and the Motor City Machine Guns. And if I do say myself, we had quite the showing in that one and made a little bit of a name for ourselves, I think, to a Ring of Honor fan base that may be a bit underappreciative of the Kingdom at the moment. So it was that one is also right up there. But I think that the history-making match where we became the first ever Ring of Honor six-man tag team champions is pretty hard to top that so far.
So in terms of like the Kingdom, you obviously get you wrestle solo, and then you have like tag team matches, and then.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with the Kingdom, and I think that Ring of Honor fans will learn to appreciate this more as time goes on. Is that we are an extremely versatile group. Like myself and Vinny can tag team. The three of us can team as a six-man. Vinny and Taven can tag team. Myself and Taven could tag team. And on top of that, all three of us are capable of carrying a singles program together. So I mean, but there's so much versatility. There's so much star power in the Kingdom that I don't think people are quite aware of yet. But we're doing our best to spread our message and to put ourselves out there. But as far as like the different combinations of the team, like if you notice, like this week on Ring of Honor television, you'll see myself in singles action against the Octopus Jonathan Gresham. I think in a week or two, you might see me and Vinny in tag team competition. And then just last week, if not the week before, you saw the Kingdom as a six-man in competition. So we're a very versatile group. It's one of the things I think I'm most proud of as a pro is that the group that I'm in, we've got so much versatility in that respect.
Yeah, it sounds like it. There's no, going over on each other like the Shield. Is there anything?
No way, man. We're too good at real life friends. Plus, like, I need Vinny and Taven's houses to sleep on after these long travel nights. So I can't have you betraying either of them because otherwise I'm going to lose my ride to Logan Airport.
Who does the most driving out of you three?
Well, Vinny does absolutely none of it. So basically, me and Taven split it. To Taven's credit, though, he's a wheelman. He would prefer to drive than ride, so he usually will take the point. But I try to do my share, being the younger guy in the group. Vinny's allergic to driving. Actually, like Vinny, I think I don't know what it is. Maybe the seat hurts his butt or something. But that guy, I don't think he even has a license. This is the amount of time I've not seen him drive.
Just avoiding it at all costs.
At all costs, he will avoid it.
All right, what I want to do right now, I want to do a little something different. Obviously, big things. I know, actually, when we were kids, we used to do this all the time. Is play our favorite wrestling walkout theme songs, and we pick which one we would go out to. And I think that's a big thing for wrestling. The wrestling world is like, it's basically how you connect with the audience. It's their first realization of who's going to walk out, who's fighting tonight. So what I'm going to do is play a little game called Name That Wrestler.
Fun.
I got a couple theme songs. Hopefully you can hear them.
All right.
We'll see if you can name who they are. I have like 4 right now.
All right, let's do it.
We'll see what we got right here.
Randy Orton. Oh, that's so loud.
That was a quick one, man. That's
That's so loud. I had to say it as fast as I could. I thought my eardrums were gonna split. I got headphones on, so that was like terrifying.
yo, that's old school radio. I know he's changed it.
There's nothing you could say.
Yes, he's
It's a
changed it
midway
a
locker
couple
room
times.
special right there. Friday Night Lights.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That's
Yeah,
good stuff.
that's old high school stuff.
I'm into that.
All right,
What
let's
else
see
you
if I
got for me?
can,
Come on, you got any more brain busters?
I got a few.
This is the Ultimate Warrior.
It is, dude. Wow,
It's
2
tough
for 2.
It's the quality's tough, but yeah, it sounds like this Ultimate Warrior.
The quality will be tough. I'm pulling up on YouTube. We have a very low budget from the MAN podcast here.
And listen, man, I wasn't expecting Studio Dre here. It's all good.
Let's see. I think this one you'll probably get.
Is that Taz?
Yes, it is, dude. Wow. Dude.
Two Z's or one Z?
Oh man, with WWE 1Z, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? I don't. Is that right?
What,
1Z in the WWE, 2Z's in ECW,
Actually,
or is it? I don't know.
I think it's two Z's in the
Yep.
two Z's in the WWE.
and
Yeah.
then one in ECW.
Gotcha. I don't claim to be a wrestling historian. That's definitely a weakness in my game. Like if you want, I'm all about like watching wrestling and matches and things, but these little factoids, they escape me sometimes.
I got one more. I'm not sure if he says his name in it, but
all right, let's do it.
We'll test her out.
That's RVD, man.
Dude, lickety split on these, man. This is one of my favorites.
That is a good one. That actually, back when I was a skater horse, that was a go-to like Walkman or Discman song. I'd have that playing in my headphones as I was like skateboarding around town.
And yours is yours just the best around, like the?
So, well, in the Indies, my solo theme is the Best Around by Joe Esposito. And our Ring of Honor, I actually love our ring. I'll put our theme song right up there with the all-time greats while I'm at it. It's called Cathedral. If you just type in Kingdom ROH theme, there's one. The one that has the tick-tocking clock is just amazing. Like when they do it live, I love our theme song.
Yeah, showing the names on the.
Yeah, with the tick-tock is so great. If I do say so myself.
That's pretty badass.
No, I love it. I've always, when it comes to wrestling music, I've always gravitated towards the more like slow, strutty songs. I've always thought those are so cool. Like Goldberg, that or like Ric Flair with his is off the
Those are classic, yeah. The slow struts. Is that how you normally come out? You're a strutter. You mingle with the fans. You don't like sprint out at any time.
So the running gag at Ring of Honor is that we set aside 2 minutes for the Kingdom's entrance. We're gonna take our sweet ass time and make sure that we hit every single camera with our face on the way to the ring.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man, we're the glory hogs to the finest, and I'll tell you what, man, like. That entrance is so important, and I'm going to take all night if I have. I'm going to make sure every single person in that room is aware of exactly just who the hell's getting in the ring before that bell goes off.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Brad, you got anything that you wanted to...
Yeah, I know with all the I know the big talk about Ring of Honor trying to go to bigger venues and
Sure. 10,000
what do you
theater.
think? What would you like to see happen, or where do you see Ring of Honor going from here?
Okay. Ring of Honor is on an absolute roll right now, and right now we are riding an extremely high wave. We've got a lot of guys that are doing huge things internationally, breaking into like a mainstream level of success. Ring of Honor has become a legitimate TV company in the past few years. It's only going to become I think more of a household name. I think there's the explosion of New Japan in popularity, combined with the explosion of Ring of Honor popularity. I mean, we're rolling 5 straight sellouts right now. We are absolutely crushing it on pay-per-view buys. Kingdom just sold out of Be One of Us t-shirts on the ROH shop again. So, I mean, things are going well for the Kingdom and for Ring of Honor, more importantly. As far as where do I see it going, I don't see it slowing down. I don't see it. I don't see it becoming a global corporation overnight, but it's certainly on the rise, and it's certainly something that I think a casual wrestling fan is starting to be aware of. Whereas a few years ago, I think a casual wrestling fan might only really be aware of the WWE. Now I think Ring of Honor has become a more mainstream and a more stable wrestling company that fans can really identify with. I mean, you go to any Ring of Honor show, and the fans that show up are just rabid, animalistic. Like, they are so fired up to see the product. So, say what you want, but I think Ring of Honor is it's on the up, plain and simple.
I'm on their schedule, and you know how they have like Ring of Honor, they have Live, Elite, Survival of the Fittest. Is that like a SmackDown Raw thing, where is it different wrestlers have different nights? Like, what? How's that set up?
So, well, it's kind of mimics like the New Japan Tour setup, in the sense of for example, there's the ROH Elite, which is going to be like a series of shows done at in Florida. And then there's if you look, like, a lot of times the show's names are built up to whatever the next pay-per-view is. Like sometimes it'll be like Road to Best in the World, or Road to Global Wars, things like that. Sometimes not every single event that Ring of Honor does is taped for television or pay-per-view. We do some that are just live events for the live house that get filmed for video on demand for the ROHWrestling.com website. And those events oftentimes have standalone names. And really, it's just a differentiator. It's not necessarily like a SmackDown versus Raw setup, if you want to think of it like that. It's the same roster, but just different event names.
Gotcha.
Although, that being said, though, sometimes, like for the Global Wars tour, that's unique in the sense that we're going to have New Japan or CMLL wrestlers with us on those dates, and those guys cycle in and out depending on, I have really no idea, but they cycle in and out for depending on, I would assume, schedules and things like that.
Got it. And we mentioned at the beginning, like, your big pay-per-view match. Did you say the date? Is that in December?
So, November 11th. And that match, I believe, is a TV match. So, that match, I have to double check. I'm a bit embarrassed here, but I don't know which one of those dates is which, just because, it's some little details like that, man. I focus more on the big picture.
You're on the match, man. You're focused on the match.
Yeah, man. So basically, we got that coming up, and that, like I said at the beginning, has been like an absolute build, because Motor City Machine Guns, along with Jonathan Gresham and Jay White, form a group called Search and Destroy, and Search and Destroy have kind of been the Kingdom and Search and Destroy have been a bit like cats and dogs pretty much since we started the Kingdom. And over the months, there's been matches between Vinny and Taven and the Motor City Machine Guns. There's been a match between Jay White and the Motor City Machine Guns against the Kingdom. Me and Vinny against Motor City Machine Guns. There's been me versus Jonathan Gresham. There's been all these different combinations, and really it's just turned into six guys that don't particularly like each other. Specifically, Motor City Machine Guns and myself and Vinny Marcelli aren't super fond of each other at this point.
There's
been some bad blood. There's been some tossing it back and forth, but it's all basically boiled down to, we've got a tag team title match down in Florida, and fully plan on coming back to Massachusetts with some shiny Ring of Honor gold.
Love it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stoked. You still coming out with the bat?
Oh yeah, man. That's my bread and butter. I got the bat. Vinny's got the axe, and we just causing mayhem out there.
A ruckus, absolute mayhem. Have you used it in the ring?
Oh my God, when haven't I? Listen, I will use anything and everything I can get my hands on to win. At the end of the day, it's all that matters. sportsmanship's for chumps. Always has been.